love.stampwithelaine.com. For today's project I'm using the Balloon Celebration stamp set and going back to a forgotten pair of punches, the large wide oval punch and the scalloped oval punch and the curvy corner trio punch. The Balloon Celebration set are in photopolymer. There's 2 sets in the pack, and it's a 2-step, maybe even a 3-step stamping set, because there's the solid image, then there's the speckled bits that you can put on top, and then obviously there's the outline as well. So today I'm just doing the 2-step method. Obviously need the stamp set, the Balloon Celebration stamp set. Now this is bundled with a coordinating punch, but we won't be using this today. I'll come back and do another tutorial on that. The inks we're using are the outgoing in colours. These came in 2014, so they're retiring in 2016, and you have until May the 31st to get your hands on these colours before they retire. So this is Blackberry Bliss, Lost Lagoon and Hello Honey. There's a story behind this. I had to put a piece of designer series paper here because I smudged it. Blackberry Bliss, it's a lovely colour, but it just gets everywhere. And it was my 3rd attempt making this card because I kept smudging it at the last minute. For your card base, you need half a sheet of A4, which has been cut at 4 1/8 by 11 3/4, so that's 10.5 by 30 centimetres. You'll also need 2 pieces of Whisper White. This is just the standard Whisper White, and that measures 5.5 by 3 3/4 in centimetres. That's 14 by 9.5. So one's for the front and one is for the inside. The first thing we do is to punch corners on these 4 sides, and we're going to be using this scalloped one. Let me show you how this works. There's a guide here and here on all the sides, on these 2. So that's where you slide your paper in until it hits that corner, and then you punch, and it gives you that effect. And on this one you slide the cardstock in, punch, and it will give you this effect. And then on this one at the end, it's for tags and things, so the guide is here on these 2 sides. Slide that in, it should punch, because there's also a line there for you to centre your card, and that will create a tag hole. Can you see that? The one we're going to be using is this one here. It's best to use it 1 sheet at a time, and if you tip your cardstock slightly to prevent it from moving, you get a nice effect. My foam mat and a piece of scratch paper, and I'm going to stamp the solid image balloon. So I'm taking the solid balloon image, the larger of the 2. I'm going to stamp off and then stamp on. Clean my stamp. Do the next colour. This time it's in Hello Honey. Stamp off. Stamp on. Clean my stamp again. Now Lost Lagoon. Stamp off, stamp on. Using this speckled image for the balloon, and I'll stamp directly onto the balloon without stamping off, and that will give it that effect. I'll repeat the same process. This is with Hello Honey. Remember to clean your stamp each time for picking up the next colour. Next I want to stamp the tails or the string. Just a light tap. And because this is photopolymer, it is fairly flexible, so you can manipulate your photopolymer stamp any way you wish. So I'll make that line a little bit more wriggly, and I'm going to stamp that in Hello Honey. I'm going to stamp this Let Us Celebrate. And there's a little stamp here with stars on it, so I'm going to stamp a few stars. And my stamp, so I'm going to stamp one in Berry Bliss. I've cleaned the stamp again, and this time we'll stamp it in Hello Honey. Now usually it's better to stamp first before you punch it out, but I'm doing things in reverse today, and the reason why is because this happy birthday is too long, and so I did some surgery and actually cut up the stamp so that I could stamp the happy separately and the birthday separately. And then if you want to join it together again with photopolymer, it's really easy, because you can see exactly where it's going, and voila, it's all joined up again and it's as one. But if you want it separately, you can, and then I can stagger them. So I think I will do it in Blackberry Bliss because it matches the cardstock. Try not to get a headshot. Blackberry Bliss again. Punch a scalloped oval, and we'll set that aside while we stamp the inside of the card. To do the inside, so I'm going to use this grid line here to line up my letters. Pop my block on top. And I'm going to stamp this in Lost Lagoon, Blackberry Bliss, oh no, I've got my "and" upside down. There's always a reverse side, so let's do that again. Come, let us sit together and drink tea and coffee and eat cake. So I just wanted to show you how many elements there are in this stamp set. It's got lots and lots of wording, which is really versatile, and there's little cow slips there, so there's flowers and stars. So let's zoom out again. Put a Tombow on the back. adhere it to the scallop oval that we just punched out. Just a bit of Tombow on the back of our emergency side. Make sure I've got it the right way up this time. And that's the front. Some dimensionals on the back. We can pop that there. A wink of Stella pen, and this time instead of the balloons I think I'll do the stars. Maybe a little bit on the balloons. I shan't do the black Brugeless one because it obviously stains. I think it needs a little something else, don't you? So there you have it, a couple of balloon celebration cards. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll be back soon with more inspiration. Bye.